Dillian Whyte defeats Joseph Parker, and in doing so, he becomes the new WBO International Heavyweight Champion, retains his WBC Heavyweight Championship. So what's next for Dillian Whyte? We find out and discuss it right here on the Double RT Boxing Show, the Ready Talk Boxing Show, with me, your host, Mr. A. Thank you. Let's tune in. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can hate him for not making that fight happen, but this is an unbiased show. We talk boxing. If it is just some missed details, the Double RT Boxing Show, Mr. A is here to help you, because that's what we do. We talk that boxing, spit that fire on the internet, dragging on the net, hashtag dragging on the net. Follow me on at Twitter at RRTB Show. Double RT, the Double RT, the Double RT Boxing Show with Mr. A. So again, Dillian Whyte retains his WBC Silver Heavyweight Championship and becomes the newly WBO International Champion, Heavyweight Champion, of course. And that WBO belt is vacant, or was vacant, because Alexander Povetkin, who was the holder of it, had to give it up because he has that title shot, so had to give that belt up. It's because he had that belt and the WBO Continental Heavyweight, so he had 2 title shots to Joshua. He has to give up the WBO for his title shot against Joshua. Anyway, now Dillian Whyte is the WBO International Heavyweight Champion and retains his WBC Silver Championship. That out of the way, I had this fight not close. The official scorecards, I believe, were 115, 112, 115, 110, 114, 111. Now, at one point, me and Tony Bellew had the fight scored the same. We might have ended with the same scorecard. I don't know. Because in the 10th round, I recall Tony Bellew saying, "It's the 10th round. I don't like what Parker's saying. He's not giving it all." I had him 10 points down. In the 10th round, I had it 99-89. And Tony Bellew said he had him 10 points down. So there you go. My final scorecard for this fight was 117-108. I gave Parker rounds 1, and I gave him the bookends. First round and the last round I gave Parker. And it's basically because of the similarity of those rounds was his output, his action. Rounds 1, he came with that little pity-pat jab that he has. Pity-pat. And in rounds 12, he came just with some... Dillian Whyte was exhausted as hell. And he came with some killer instinct. Parker, that is. And that helped. And not tonight, because obviously with my work schedule, you can see I do the fights either later on, like at 3 in the morning, or the next day. As you can see, it's sunlight over here. So I've been watching fights, taking naps all the way from Garcia Live to now. And it showed in heavyweight, stamina is important. Chisora was losing that whole fight, and look what happened because Takam was just gassed. Dillian Whyte was winning this fight and almost blew it in the final second because he was gassed the fuck out. And that's straight right by Parker. When Dillian Whyte gets hit, the dude could take punishment, but when his exhaustion level hits that gas tank E, his legs go fucking stupid. He can't function. He has those Amir Khan legs. They start wibbling, they fall. When AJ cracked him, remember what happened to his legs? He started doing all this stuff. And when Parker cracked him, look what happened to Dillian Whyte's legs. Same thing would have happened if Steve Gray didn't help Kimberly Connor. You saw her legs starting to go. Katie Taylor was cracking her. Sorry to just say the names, but trying to tie the leg and factor with the stamina. The telling factor for me in this fight, the telling moment was round 3. And round 1 I gave to Parker, pure activity, gave him the points. Round 2 was a 10-8 round favoring Dillian Whyte due to a clash of heads. I don't know if you want to say a head bun, or I guess you gotta call it whatever you want to say, because Dillian Whyte was coming in for a nice tight inside counter. But just as I'm throwing the counter, his head hit Parker first. So yeah, it went down, but it wasn't one of those head bunts. It was a clash of heads, but hey, head bun. But so that was a 10-8 round favor in Dillian Whyte, and Dillian Whyte rode that momentum into the 3rd round. I don't know if if Parker was woozy from the head bunt, or was it just the hit anything factor of Dillian Whyte? Because rounds 1 and 2, even though Parker won round 1, he said he was going to win round 2 if it wasn't for that head bunt knockdown. But Dillian Whyte, now we all know Dillian Whyte throws the whole fucking kitchen sink and his torque into his punches, and he was hitting. He hit Parker here. He hit Parker here. He hit him here. He hit him here. His body stabbing him here. Those were wearing Parker down. You know, not only just holding his head down through the whole fight, leaning on him the whole fight, doing dirty house tactics through the whole fight. He was just hitting him anywhere. And Parker didn't like that shit. It was wearing Parker mentally, like, damn, dude. And Parker's face, body language looked checked out around round 5. But in round 3, you could see that body language starting to show. He's like walking to his corner, like, visually for me, Mr.A, right here on the WRT Boxing Show, we picked up the body language change of Parker in round 3, and like, oh, it's not going to look good. It's not going to look good. And sure enough, from that round on, it was just a downslide. Parker start, disengaging in the fights. He wasn't fight. He was letting Dillian Whyte manhandle him. And so, like I said, the corners were complaining, like, hey, because Dillian Whyte was holding him down, head, uppercutting him, vicious uppercuts, but Parker was never responding back. Just like, he wasn't even complaining to the ref. Complaining to the ref ain't cool, but he wasn't even complaining to the ref. He just wasn't responding back in no way. Like, he wasn't doing it back. His corner was shouting and banging, and Parker was looking to touch gloves at the end of the fight. Some of the rounds, and Dillian Whyte was just on beast mode, warrior, manhandling him. Like I said, purposely hitting behind the head on some rounds, putting all his fucking weight on him, just tiring Parker out. So in round 4, after that telling 3 round, it just became of just a manhood thing. Dillian Whyte was just set again, throwing anywhere, hitting him anywhere, and Parker was just still trying to back on the back foot. And I was trying to tell in my video, the show here, that Parker doesn't hit hard as we think he does. Now, that straight in the 12th round, that was a good shot. Any shot about his hooks that he gets credit for. He's a slappy puncher. Even his corner in the final round. Go listen to the round. He's a Parker, Joseph, whatever he calls him. I need you to turn your right hook. I need you to turn it over. Turn it over. I need you to turn the right. I've been trying to tell you guys, he doesn't turn his punches, And the coach was finally telling him, like, you need to turn your punches, man. I said, go again and watch the break between the 11th and the 12th. You'll hear his coach tell him, turn your punches. And from that moment on, it's like the whole fight, like in the 9th round. Like I said, the 9th round was this ultimate deciding factor where he actually cleanly knocked down Joseph Parker. We'll get into that one coming up. We'll build up into that. Like I said, the 4th round, he started hitting him anywhere. 5th round, 6th round. It was just Dillian Whyte just, if Parker did land a 1-2 on him, Dillian Whyte just come with anything back. A body shot, a rib shot, a shoulder shot, a couple jabs. You could see Dillian Whyte was already tired, but that Dillian Whyte, I give him credit, the dude has heart, the dude has balls. He has grapefruits down there. Fucking massive grapefruits. The dude will fucking fight. He said in round 9, Joseph Parker was fucking gassed. And what's so sad about round 9, not him just getting knocked down, Joseph Parker was probably, in round 9, it was the first round Joseph Parker came to fucking fight. Some like second wind picked up in him. He was double jabbing. You know, he went to throw an uppercut and he missed, and a left hook just because he was having a little success with an uppercut. You know, even though he got cracked with an uppercut in round 4, but Parker was having a little success with the uppercut. In round 9, he went for that uppercut, he missed, and a nice the punch that Dillian Whyte got credit for in round 2 landed flush this time, and geez, Parker fell like a heavy fucking drunk. His legs were just gone. You could see that's like, damn, that's a like when your fucking drunk friend falls, you're like, dude, this motherfucker is heavy. I do not want to pick him up. He fell heavy, like ugh, and just it was a done deal. Like I said, from that moment on, round 10, Parker, he was starting to like back away with his hands down, and I believe it was Carl Froch, could have been Bellew too, but just kept talking about his body language. He looked disengaged, he looked disconnected with the fight, looking at his corner. It was that stuff that Dillian Whyte was like, man, like I think in the round 11, Dillian Whyte just like, it happened in like round 5 too, but again in round 11, Dillian Whyte just like pushed him against the ropes and like bent him all over the ropes. You hear Parker scream like, you know, just Dillian Whyte was doing anything to manhandle him, just to put in his head like, I got you, I'm the man, you know. And then he not only did he bend his back over, he like pushed him through the ropes, and was it Bellew? Like I said, I think it was Bellew. But like I don't like Parker right now. He got pushed through the ropes, and he's looking at his corner like what to do. I don't like his body language. I said I didn't like it from round 3. From round 3 on, what they were talking about, I picked up in round 3. Joseph Parker just totally changed, and he started backing away with his hands down. We know, and I said, to me, Parker is not a heavy hitter. He's more of a back foot counter puncher. I think he gets credit too much for being a heavy hitter. He's a back foot counter puncher. And his backward moving, to me, changed. It went from back foot counter to just stay away from me, Dylan. Stay away. You know, like I don't want to get hit no more. Stay. And like I said, even though you don't post it, you could judge that as a judging criteria from a ring generalship. You could see Dylan was pressing the action while Whyte was just, you know, like I said, it's a difference between judging with back foot countering and then just back foot surviving. And it went from back foot countering in the first 4 or 5 rounds to back foot surviving for Joseph Parker. And like that, in round 12, Dillian Whyte's gassed out tire, and Parker came out like a champion that he was, and he just started throwing some punches to fucking rocking the shit out of Dillian Whyte. But I said, it's the same punches he was probably landing all day. It's just exhaustion. Dillian Whyte was fucking exhausted, and that straight right, Dillian Whyte got up after he did his legs, did the Bambi dance. He held Parker for like the final 15-20 seconds and survived it. If that fight was going any 30 seconds longer, it would have been tough for Dillian Whyte to win. 30 more seconds, it would have been tough for Dillian Whyte to win that fight. So I think if he couldn't hold on, either a feint or anything would have knocked Dillian Whyte the fuck out. But Parker needed 30 more seconds, but he had from round 10 on to try it, but he waited too long. And like I said, we found out a lot what Joseph Parker is. You know, you gotta remember, how did he become champion? He became champion by a vacated belt by beating Andy Ruiz. And exactly what is Andy Ruiz? Yes, exactly. You know, Kevin Johnson decision. So Parker has a lot of answering to do. Will he fight Chisora? You know, because I don't know if you even want to see a Parker Wilder fight now. I don't know if that even has any oomph to it, you know. So Dillian Whyte made himself a strong case. Obviously, if whatever the hell happens with Wilder and Joshua, which I don't think is going to happen on April 13th at all, unless there's just a brand new contract. We're probably going to see the rematch of Whyte and Joshua. I'm your host, Mr. A. Hope you found this segment of the RRT Boxing Show very entertaining. Hit that thumbs up if you have not. Show it. You appreciate it. Subscribe if you are not subscribed. Take the 370 to 500. I appreciate it. You follow me at Twitter at RRTB Show, RRTB Show. Thumbs up to you. I'm giving you the thumbs up for giving me your time and support. Thank you for tuning in.